Boost your brand's visibility with Image 360, your expert source for comprehensive custom signs and graphic solutions. From standout office signage to dynamic trade show displays, Image 360 has you covered. Leveraging years of experience with the latest technology, our team delivers solutions that surpass your every expectation. Ready to transform your company's visual communication strategy? Get a quote at image360signs.com today. image360signs.com.
J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to a J360 Mini Bite, hosted by J.M. Brady, and I am your host, J.M. Brady. So, let's get into it. So, how's it going, y'all? New week and everything. I know things are a little different tonight because it's supposed to be J-Man show night. I know. It's Wednesday and all. Your mind is not playing tricks on you. We're running with the alternative schedule right now because I was doing a lot of R&D, and some of it seeped into Tuesday, so I had to push things back. Plus, I wanted to get some more information on what was going on with the impeachment trial, which didn't go anywhere for the second time in a row. Congratulations, America. Isn't that something how you dime yourself out? You know, you can't even hold one of your own accountable, but still at the same time, you want to keep people like me, other minorities, and all sorts of other people down from doing what they need to do. But hey, once again, we can do that another time on another different show. But the one thing is, as I ride the interwebs and as I look over in different times on different spheres of multiple outlets around here, I see one thing that a lot have in common. Censorship. Unbridled censorship. Ridiculous censorship. Terms of services is like the biggest goalpost ever, isn't it? Especially when they change it every year and they move it to serve whatever sort of ideologue they have. And I mean, a lot of funny channels get shut down here, there, and everywhere. Now, they do right by getting rid of some of those things out there. Some of those contents out there that pretty much are about, racism and all. But see, the one thing is, they forget that reverse racism is racism, and they have also forgotten that domestic terrorism is terrorism, because they don't know how to define any of those things anymore. And as I go about saying that, I see it on the interwebs all the time. Like, it's like one way or another, people want to talk about free speech till it's taken away from them. And then they want to talk about free speech, but not knowing the rules about free speech. If you want to know something, I get tired of talking about it because I've covered it multiple times. And not even journalism is the same way it used to be, because a long time ago, you were supposed to be neutral when you were covering the news. Not picking a side, not necessarily being like, oh, I'm for this, and then you stir all this propaganda up, and then you tell me your opinion. When I started going down this route to jump into this industry, I wrote something that was, it was pertaining to something that was going on in Delaware at the time, and I put my 2 cents in there. And then the lady looked at me, because she was my editor, looked me right in the eye and said, I'm not pushing this. Rewrite this. I was like, why is that? And she was like, because you wrote what you thought. Nobody cares what you think. Tell me what happened and how does it affect everyone around here? Who's involved and where do we go and how did this go about? You know what I mean? Yeah, a long time ago, it's never about what you think unless it's an editorial, which at the same time, you look at the comments section. I mean, what would the comment section be other than an editorial? I mean, it's one of the most craziest places on earth, though. And sometimes you get a little bit more entertainment factor than the actual original content. But, it's a whole different argument on its own. But there are a bunch of a-holes out here that mess things up. And if you want to really go into it, some of that stuff like the Gina Carano thing. Now, personally, I think Gina Carano, I don't really like her for her acting ability. Let's put it that way. I mean, she does all right. Like, she did pretty good in The Mandalorian. But when she got fired, I mean, quite a lot of people were arguing for that because of what her Twitter posts were. And then at first, it's because she didn't want to put her pronouns on her Twitter profile. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you pretty much can tell she's a woman, right? And then there's a lot of people who work for Lucasfilms that don't have the pronouns on their social media. Because, at the end of the day, it might not be important to them. Oh, yeah, they'll go ahead and they'll give you the PR message, but you got to look a little deeper. And you see, the thing is, all the stuff that she posted after a while, because she was battling the mob of people that were for the far left. And then, of course, you got to figure this. And I always say that on this show. If you got right-wing nuts, you got left-wing nuts too. And one way or another, they're all right around here trying to cycle things about. See, one way or another, if it doesn't fit an ideologue, they will try to snuff you out, try to silence you. I mean, they'll go as far as they can to try to say some things about you if possible. Or go dig up your old tweets and all that stuff. You want to know who I think won out of this whole Lucasfilm and Gina Carano thing? Nobody. Nobody, because guess what? We are on that high mark to, I can't say the real word on this show or the J-Man show, but I'll say it on the Hangouts. But we're on that pathway to foolery, which one way or another, it's going to be a whole opening of ignorance that comes around, and everybody's going to be running around parading about it. Except for those that are aware that it's going to happen. Even with Biden and all this stuff in office, I mean, even with it full under Democratic control, you're seeing all this stuff come to light. Those people that were sitting there and they were silenced during the time of Trump, now they're empowered. And they figure they can go ahead and watchdog you on everything you do, which isn't right in general. But you see, that's the risk we all take as we are performers. Now, the thing is this. As she is working for Disney at that time, she had to have known. And, Pedro Pascal said a bunch of things on his Twitter. And when we really think about it, Twitter is nothing more than a damn hive unless you're using it for, to market your stuff, which on one hand, I'm guilty of that. But that's because I'm using it for that. I'm not on there trying to have let's go ahead and talk about the politics of things. Let's go ahead and talk about things that we can't prove because we're not actually there. Or let's go ahead and bring up some old posts and stuff like that to try to fire people, which isn't right in general because that's taking away somebody's livelihood. And then some of y'all would probably be like this, well, you should have thought about it before they post it. Not disagreeing with you there, but at the same time though, why do you give a damn? It's always somebody in somebody else's business. Have you noticed that? And you see, we, the ones that are in charge of that page, we can block, we can delete, we can mute, we can throw people out anytime we want to. But you see, the thing about it is, this is not just one person. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's thousands. And I say this for anybody who gets in those major roles and all that kind of stuff, your social media is done at that point. Don't even fool with it right now. I mean, have a private one for your friends, your inner circle, all that kind of stuff. But even then, you got to be mindful of that too, because there's always somebody out there that's jealous and probably doesn't like what you're doing or be like, yo, you're famous. How come I'm not famous? Things like that. Human nature plays a role in all this stuff. One way or another, there's always somebody out there looking at your stuff, and they always have that ugly troll face of jealousy, or they have the troll face of the lulz. But I'm not going to knock the lulz one, but we're talking about its ugly cousin, the one that hates everything. And truth be told, it's one way or another, you can't win with this stuff. But the whole thing with Gina Carano's posts and stuff, it didn't stop me from living my life. But a lot of other people, though, if there is something there that just doesn't fit the narrative or the ideologue of what they're all about, they get butthurt. And then all of a sudden, they start going after them, on this. I mean, the woman got bullied a couple of times. Let's just be for real. If you look back at all the stuff that went down. But at the same time, should she have kept responding? Should she have kept pushing the envelope and stuff? And some of that stuff looked like she was trolling there for a little bit because she knew how butthurt people would get. But it's like this. She obviously wasn't thinking about the job. And then when she got fired, she linked up with Ben Shapiro. Now she's Miss Conservative. So she got a lot more attention and a lot more press. And now she's about to make this movie, which, I don't know what it's about, but oh my God, I can only imagine. And one way or another, it's like this happens with anybody. But you see, the thing is, she had a loophole she could bounce back from. If it's somebody like me or anybody else out here that's creating that wants to speak on behalf of things, they're going to have a hard time. See, me on the other hand, I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I do. The only one that can really deplatform me is me. But when it gets right down to other people out here, the ones that are starting out, the ones that, are wide-eyed about things, don't really know. I feel for them because they could get looped into anything. And then, a long time ago, people are making it hard. Well, a long time ago, they made it hard to talk about politics, which became now. When at one time, talking about politics was just like getting through the day. And then at the end of the day, you could easily disagree because, you really didn't delve into people's opinions that much. And then 9 times out of 10, if I'm giving out an opinion like I'm doing on this show right now, it shouldn't hurt you at all. It's just an opinion. See, but I don't know what it is. It's just, because maybe some of y'all could teach me to understand and try to figure out, like, why would the words of somebody that you don't even know would affect you at that point? You know what I'm saying? Though at the same time, a lot of y'all got to know me, so maybe things have changed. But, as I go about this and I surf around the interwebs, cancel culture is real. And truth be told, it's like, you really shouldn't be trying to ruin somebody's life like that. They're not trying to ruin your life. They just don't want to go to your party. There are some parties you don't go to. Like, there's been Democratic parties around here that try to invite me out to them, and I'm like, I'm not going to go. And then there's been Republican parties that try to invite me to some of their shindigs. I'm not going to go. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, my whole thing with Black Lives Matter. Me and Black Lives Matter at times have a rocky relationship. I'm not going to deny it. Because there's times when my own people act like a bunch of a-holes and they circle jerk. And they know this crap. You see it all the time. BET is a well-known circle jerk in the black community. All that kind of stuff is ridiculous. And then the Real Housewives of Atlanta and all that stuff. Like, really, you want to tell me how rich black folks live? Like, that's the end goal for me? Get out of here. I don't care. I'm surviving, yes. And I'm working my way to the top while building my business and doing what I need to do to survive in these crazy ass times. Yes, that is important to me. And then, making this content for all of you out here. Even by doing this right now with the portable setup, there's somebody that's going to be jealous about that. Be like, hey, I hate that crap. Whatever. Still doing my own thing. And as I am doing my own thing, I got a pretty busy week ahead for all of you out there. And we're all leading up to, it's not a jams week, but we're all leading up to the repackaging of the J360 Hangouts. And the Power Play has 2 episodes. One is actually a regular Power Play episode, but another is a secret project that's coming up on Saturday. And you guys are going to be very interested about it. Because you're going to find out more details tomorrow. And then, of course, the J-Man show is happening tomorrow night. So, yeah, the alt schedule is going well. And I'm going to tell you this, right? It's all paying off in the end because I haven't slept a wink. So the first chance I get some breathing room, I'm going to go pass out. But I do have to say this about the whole cancel culture thing. It's like this. Look, they can't shadow ban us all. They can't censor us all. And when we have a good case against them, hold them to it. Speak your piece. You know what I'm saying? Because for one thing is, people want that shock value and they want to be the iconoclast. That is until that stuff backfires. So one way or another, we're in the middle of this whole conflict as we are content creators, but, they need us. I'm not going to deny it, but, that whole list of essential jobs, some of it's credible, but quite a lot of it is BS because they try to say artists are not credible. Artists are important right now. Us content creators and stuff, we're the ones keeping things afloat. Because what Lucasfilms is doing, it's not even about the product anymore. It's about the behind the scenes BS. That has taken the forefront of all those things. Like, a lot of people don't even like Star Wars anymore because of it. But you see right here, those of us that are making our own, doing our own, whether we're paid for it or not, but we're trying to get that monetization and they keep trying to pull it from us, but you got to hold on to want it. And then you got to find the ways to make that stuff happen. And I have it set and planned for you guys if you want to support J360 Productions. Don't you worry, it's coming. But let me tell you this. They need us. All right? Because lockdown is still around. Now there's more mutations of COVID and all this extra BS upon BS. one way or another, let's just keep doing our thing. And for those of us out here that are actually comical and entertaining, let's keep comedy alive. Doesn't matter who we offend anymore. It's all about just telling the truth in a funny way and then going ahead and doing the parodies that need to be done, because this culture here needs to lighten up. All right? And that's what I mean on this, because each and every single J360 product, whatever it is going to sell that point. One way or another. I'm not holding it back. It needs to be out there. Okay? And that being said, I'm not on the right, I'm not on the left. I'm in the center and I'm kicking everybody's ass. So this is the one way to go about doing things. Okay? That being said, though, I got to get on out of here. We're past the 15-minute mark, so. But hey, whatever. We'll go a little long with it because you can't really talk about cancel culture in 15 minutes. And to be honest with you, I'll go for 16 and just say I don't agree with none of this stuff. Let them be out there. Let them say all this crazy crap. But one way or another, we're going to be all right, for those that have been supportive. Oh, by the way, since I'm going a little long with this, as for Texas, now you know what it feels like, right? But I hope some of you guys make it through okay. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot of friends and people out there in Texas. So, just do the best you can, get through it. And, we don't want none of that over here in the East. We get enough of it anyway. But until then, this is the J-Man signing off. You all take care of yourselves. The J-Man show happens tomorrow at 10. And we will have some more entertaining things happening. But then again, peace.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.